I think everybody knows the story by now, but I'll tell it again. I was 12 years old, and my parents had a subscription to National Geographic magazine, which I think is that's, you know, I'm really grateful that that's the magazine that was in my house instead of Us, or, you know, nothing wrong with Us Weekly if you're here, or nothing wrong. But, you know, I as a 12-year-old girl saw this woman on the cover holding a baby gorilla. And I don't know that I was aware of subliminally what that message was. I think what I saw as a 12-year-old girl was, you know, I loved animals, and I saw a woman that was connecting to animals the way that I connected to animals. And this was not just a cat or a dog, this was a baby gorilla. And she was living in Africa, which I didn't even understand. You know, I'd never been out of New Orleans, and didn't know much about the rest of the world. And then the more I read about her living on a mountain by herself and studying these animals and learning their intelligence, I just saw a very strong, independent woman who was courageous and compassionate, and I think, you know, all that stuff kind of filtered into me without me really understanding the impact. It was just me like, oh, I want to hold a baby gorilla, but those were all the things that I think happened. And as I got older, it was just something that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to come to Rwanda. I always wanted to see her work, what she had done, what she started. And I just was in awe of her, and always have been. And then the rest is history, because then I got a birthday present.
You know, Ellen is an incredible woman. She's met the most exceptional people on earth. And so when we first got together, I asked her who her hero was, or who she most admired. And I was expecting maybe a sitting president or someone who had been on her show that influenced her, but she thought about it and she said Diane Fossey. And I had obviously heard of Diane Fossey, but I really didn't know her that well. I didn't really know her work. So I think, you know, because of the position that Ellen is in, having met so many incredible people, to have that feeling for this person and to be so inspired by somebody at such a young age and then continue throughout her lifetime, I thought it was important for me to give her a gift that connected her past to her future, because I knew the show was going to be over at some point. And I also knew that I wanted to create a legacy for Ellen other than the legacy that she's created in entertainment. And if you knew my wife and how much she cares for animals, I mean, she would do anything for an animal, to protect an animal. So I knew that it was the right gift to give her. I just didn't know how to give it to her. And while we're here, I have to say that Casey is my sister-in-law, married to my brother, poor thing. But really, I called Casey and I said, this is kind of what I'm thinking. How on earth do we do this? And Casey is so brilliant and made this whole thing possible. So she put me in touch with Tara, and the rest is history.
You know, it's the same feeling I've had, and I don't know why I'm drawing. You know, somebody would say, you know, why gorillas? It's not just gorillas. I love every single animal that's on this planet, and I think they're all important, and they all do something that is necessary if we would pay attention to their intelligence. They're far superior to us. I mean, bees are far superior to us. But these gorillas are just, you know, there was an experience yesterday that we had, it was day before yesterday actually, where there was a mother gorilla with her 1-month-old baby. And the love that you saw in her eyes, and this baby looking I mean, and to be next to them and to see that there is no difference between us. I mean, really, and I say it all the time, the only real thing in this world is love. And that is the common theme of everything and everyone. And for some reason, as humans, we find all kinds of ways to divide into groups and say, you're different than me, I'm better, and gorillas, I mean, that moment of seeing that mother and that baby and that connection, and all they want to do is live their life. They just want to be in the moment, living their life. And when you get the chance, and I hope everyone does, get a chance to trek and be with gorillas, you can't be anywhere else. You are so present in that moment. You don't think, oh my God, did I leave the coffee on? Like, there's not a stress, there's not a fear, it's a presence that you'll never experience any other way. It's like you're next to this majestic, huge, powerful, gentle being, and you feel it. You see it in their eyes, and it somehow it comes into you, and you are in that moment and nowhere else. And so that's just what my experience is. And the one yesterday, they're all different. The one yesterday was different than the one, but that moment of seeing the mother and the baby was really special to me, and it's the kind of thing that just reinforces that we are so similar, and we need to protect them, and in exchange they will protect us, because obviously the more trees we have, the better off we all are. It's our oxygen, it's our so
when I thought about giving this gift to Ellen, I was thinking about, of course, Ellen and Diane Fossey and Diane Fossey Fund and the gorillas. What I didn't really expect was how much I would love Rwanda and this community. The people are so unique to any other people on earth. I feel like they are so compassionate, so accepting, just beautiful, gentle souls. And so I'm just so proud of this campus, not only because we're protecting gorillas, but we're also affecting hundreds of lives that, quite honestly, I didn't really think about when I thought about this gift. So, the ripple effect is pretty great, and I think that's what I'm most proud of, just to know that the community is engaged in this campus, is proud of the campus, and have learned skills that they can then take and use for the rest of their lives because of helping build the campus. And over 20% of people physically working on the campus were women, and a lot of those women learned a new trade. So there are just so many amazing stories that have come out of this one place, this one idea, and I think that's what I'm most proud of.